What's up everyone? Star Soldier 17 here and welcome to another video. Let's go ahead and jump into this review of Shin Megami Tensei 5. So let me tell you about what I enjoyed from the game and bring up the things that I did not enjoy. The open world of that is easily my favorite in all the Megaten games that I've played. The game is set up to reward you for looking at every nook and cranny and getting the 200 Memons for use of glory in the world of shadows. I also didn't get overly confused while trekking through each zone, and only at a few points did I feel mildly frustrated. The combat is top-notch, and the press turn system many are familiar with in previous entries, such as Nocturne, will be familiar with. In my previous video, the Shin Megami Tensei 5 experience, I even challenged myself to not do things as orthodox as usual, and it was still a fair and balanced challenge. Demon Fusion felt like a breeze in this game, and less tedious than previous entries in the series. The reverse companion fusion is extremely helpful, and while expensive, you can just transport yourself to any number of locations where there are vending machines off the lead line point, and farm to the desired amount needed, or you can just use Mitamas. The side quests in the game also provide a nice variety for me and presents the opportunity to obtain some new demons for your party that may not have been obtainable otherwise, and I didn't feel like they were similar after doing multiple quests, which is a nice quality. I cannot say that about many JRPGs I have played, since I'm not really a completionist type player in regards to side quests. The Nahobino is a cool protagonist, and I feel they will fit nicely into the SMT mythos along with the other protags. I really don't want to say any more on this for the risk of spoiling. The soundtrack was full of bangers, and I would even go as far as saying that it is my favorite SMT mainline soundtrack. It is a nice ambiance and synth vibe, and I'm not even the biggest fan of this type of music, so that is really saying something. I like the use of essences to change your affinity skills. It felt pretty streamlined, assuming you know where to look for certain demon essences for the build you wish to acquire. I personally went with a hybrid build of magic and physical. I will say if I had to do it again, I would put more towards a physical build and less on magic, but I felt that magic helps more early on. The platforming was better than I was expecting since it wasn't really advertised, and I didn't hate it. The art direction of this entry was a nice change too. The style felt very clean, and I understand that a lot of folks like Kaniko's style more overall, but I felt Doi has done very well for himself recently. With a variety of difficulty options, you can make it as easy or as hard as you like. One thing to note is that it isn't as easy as Nocturne HD, so it seems Atlas took the community feedback to heart with this one. Please note that I played my first run on normal, and it was certainly more than challenging enough. Now let's discuss what I really didn't like about the game. The story started out interesting, but the development of a few characters was extremely lackluster, and I feel like they rushed to finish the story. One character I was thinking would be rather prominent and tie into something related to the endgame plot just vanished, and I felt nothing but disappointment at this. I really hope that there's additional story DLC, because they were either holding back on us, or they're trying to potentially monetize the story mode more, or they were potentially rushed by Sega. I'll leave it up to you which point you feel is the most correct. To add to my previous point here, they will also need to work on pacing in the next Megaten game, since it's been an issue in more than just this game. The demon voices are something I thought would sound more angelic or demonic, and even some which should sound rather badass ended up sounding like they were talking underwater or using a T-Pain voice changer, and that really killed any sort of threatening aura to them and made me laugh more than feel threatened. I'm pretty sure that is not what was the intended effect and the developers are going for, but I'm going to respect their choice on this. The endings were pretty mid, and I did not feel the need or want to even grind to see what was left, even after YouTube spoiled me. Nice job, YouTube. To compare it to an older mainline title, Nocturne, I absolutely wanted to get the true demon ending. This game I was not inclined to even bother, and that disappoints me as this was part of the allure of SMT. I also personally hate Day 1 DLC. I bought the collector's edition with the assumption that the DLC would be included with the cart, and I didn't really care about any of it, save for the Mitamas and the Demi-Fiend DLC. So if you're like me and have a very busy schedule, the Mitamas can be very helpful, getting you leveled higher, so you aren't wasting hours and hours at a time doing endless battles. I may be in the minority in today's gaming landscape, but this all should be included base game, and if you are to do a DLC, make it a Raidu boss battle and have him join the party or something like that would be worth buying in my opinion. There is a noticeable lack of traditional dungeons, and the ones you do go to, for lack of a better term, nerfed. And were quite easy from what I'm used to. I remember being so frustrated at points in Nocturne, and I barely felt bothered enough to save at that puzzle, which was solved by stepping away for a bit and coming back and finishing the area. I had some issues with frame drops in the open world when seeing demons off in the distance. I have not taken a poll among other creators to see if I was the only one with these issues. I know the Switch is getting pushed pretty hard at this point, but I'd just rather not have to deal with that at all. The map for me was also a bit confusing during a certain find and destroy mission, if I'm being vague here to avoid any spoiling, and ultimately it didn't even destroy all of what I was needing to destroy, so I deemed it a waste of time trying to get that final piece, but I did beat the mission regardless. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review. My conclusion of this game is that overall it's pretty good, but I may have set my expectations too high on some things which let me down. I would put this as my game of the year for 2021 and give it a nice solid 8.5 rating. If you are new to Mega 10, then I do recommend giving this game a shot. I think you won't regret it. Older Mega 10 fans may find some aspects may cater too much to a casual audience, but ultimately, I feel this is a good thing and will push the series further to the mainstream, creating more opportunities for experimentation with the IP in the future. As always, if you've enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to help grow my channel. Star Soldier 17 out.